how is it going with you, Yaroslav Shvets again, and probably if you're interested in how to make your health better, not only how to look better and be more fit, so probably you're in the right place. But unfortunately, all of such things like traditional medicine, natural food and so on, in such going too low below, so that information not really easy to find. So probably you one of the really special one, and it's not in the trend as well. So first of all, I want to say it, so it's entertainment channel. It's everything what I said is just my personal opinion. You no need to believe me, and you can make your own research. But today I want to say a little bit about the medicine in general and doctors, and I would say I want to compare how it was before and to what it turned now. So probably you know proverb, one apple a day keep you from doctor away. Yeah. So I spent quite a lot of time with my grandparents and grandparents, and I heard a lot of stories from all of that terrible time. There was a Stalin's suppression and the war and so on, and about the medication at that time. Let's say my parents' time, so it will be closer to nowadays, but it was years ago. What can I compare to nowadays? Okay, so my grandparents said, so when they visit the doctor before with a certain problem, let's say with a digestion or skin problem or headache or anything else, so usually doctors try to figure out what's the cause, what's the reason of the headache, what's the reason have a back pain and so on, and they try to sort it out. And also really often they offer like nutrition plan for changing nutrition. So if you have a digestion problem or a heart problem, so it's probably from overweight and so on. And if you have a like higher blood pressure, so it's maybe connected with the kidney and so on. And medicine they give only like in some extreme cases. Usually they propose some herbs, like tea herbs, using some roots, change the diet, manage the weight, maybe manage some activity, like if you're working too hard or maybe you not move enough and so on. So basically in my parents' time, I just tried to compare. They said like similar. As they ask, what do you eat, what do you do, for try to know what's a daily based activity, for get a clue what it might be problem with your liver, what you're doing. Maybe it's cause of some toxin if you're working with a paint on a factory, let's say, or maybe you eat some food but not really suitable for you, and so on and so on, maybe from alcohol or nicotine or whatever. So let's say when I was a kid, I don't know, I'm in pretty good health, I'm happy with that, but I had like skin problem when I was younger, a lot of pimples because of the hormones and so on. So yeah, I visited doctors not even a few times. I got a lot of injuries and so on, and yeah, I had some problem with digestion, and I got the flu. And even when I got the flu, I got a temperature, so it's for now 100%. I'll get some injection for put the temperature down. I got the antibiotics and everything, and I'm not. So doctor said like, how long? Okay, blah blah blah, what do you eat and whatever, and she said okay, so just eat more vitamins, don't eat that stuff if you're not hungry, just keep it smooth. And usually if you go to the hospitals, they give you like really low calories food, so basically it's not a fasting, but you eat like really small amount of calories, and if you add a little bit of vitamins to it might be really helpful. So she said okay, just use some tea, what might be helpful, and wait a bit, and if it will not getting better, you come check again, and then maybe we'll give you some medication. So even in the case when I'm like certainly unwell, I will not get any medicine. And what's happened now? So now usually really rare, the doctor will ask you, okay, so what the cause might be with your problem. So if you have a heart problem, so what the cause? So because we need to take off the cause of it, instead just give the medicine for kill the symptoms what have like really no clue, you know. So it's same like a drop of water coming on your head and make a big pain, and you eat painkiller. Okay, fine. And you just make it worse and worse and worse, yeah? And you eat a painkiller and you're fine, yeah? Instead of try to figure out what's really caused. But in most of cases it's food. Food, wrong activity, sleeping wrong time or not sleeping, smoking, drinking, whatever, too much stress, maybe work on the factories with certain kind of chemicals and so on. So same, when I was a kid, when I had a digestion problem, it might be because of eating a lot of meat or whatever. So doctor asked, okay, what you eating last week usually, blah blah blah, and she, okay, maybe it's not enough vegetables or fruits, maybe need to eat more fruits, and said, oh, and probably you're drinking not enough water, try to manage it. So a lot of cause, they give you suggestion or just look at it of the nutrition, yeah, what probably in most of cases will never happen now, because you need to sell medicine and you need to get some money, so you need to put a person on a long treatment, and from sales you got a commission, and it's everything about the money, so nothing personal. And all of the education systems change by the, I don't know, from my grandparents and grandparents, they changed many times already. Change books and so on. So when I visit the library, really interested in herbs and survival system and so on. In the books was written like 50 years ago and so on. Even I read the books for the training army on the Second World War, yeah, and actually the system was really good, different to now, but still you can see like how many specialists work on it and how many details they put in it. So it was done enormous work, let's say, for the spies and so on. So probably about the war, like a lot of kids was interested and will read the books about snipers and so on, but it's not 50 years ago. I think it was written like maybe 70 years ago, whatever, long time ago, yeah. And same about the medicine, about the psychology, about the herbs and everything. That old books is really good, I would say. And the herbs, they have still same purposes to nowadays, let's say, yeah. But now it's everything about sales. So basically, it's main idea what I try to sell, or what I try to say. Still, you don't need to believe me, yeah, you just keep it in the mind. I just try to share some useful information and try to make use your logic, and maybe you can make some your own conclusion what might be helpful for you. And who knows, maybe you can make your own research about your health and figure out, oh, if I have a kidney or liver problem, it's because of that one, because I do it for the years, eat too much sugar or too much salt, or I'm not active enough, or I'm working too hard, that's why I have a knee or back problem, and so on. So like come back to the old school, and guess who the biggest sponsors of all of the medical university? Pharmacological companies. So basically they dictate the rules, they dictate what they're supposed to learn and the way they have to learn. And you know, after 5 years, let's say, when you finish university, you will be totally brainwashed and programmed to follow the rules, and you will be 100% sure you're right because you studied for so long time, and you know it should be like that, even if it's not true. Even if it will be 20 other different ways, you will not see it because you study really hard. Forget your higher degree and get a good job and so on. Basically how it works, and not only about the medication. If we go to our really good and fair law and so on, so probably everywhere it's pretty much the same, and it will be quite difficult to re-educate ourselves, but still we have a really cool tool what called the logic. So logically we can think, okay, what else it might be, what other we can do, or try to look on something from another perspective. So basically it's a really cool tool from meditation what teach you always look like on 100 more different ways and on different angles how it can be, so you can just see the things really differently, what might be extremely helpful for you. Okay, I don't want to talk too much for make the video too long. Hopefully it was interesting for you. Will be much more later. So thank you for watching, thank you for your support, and I will see you later.